Who do we got in today's edition? We got the man with no class. He talks trash. It is Seabass. Our faithful producer, Crack AV. Fearless host, Danny BMD. And me, of course, your amateur hype man, Super Fine Art. We talking sports. South Texas style. Go ahead and take it away, Dan.
Yo, 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 welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz, bar talk for super fans, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas to your ears, providing some sports time for your free time. What if this is your host, Danny BMD? How's everyone doing today, and how did your team do this week? So we got a lot of stuff to get to, a lot of sports that we did actually see over the weekend and a little bit more sports that are gonna happen this next weekend as well. Um, Honestly, like we're all kind of getting towards the end of the year, the beginning of the year for basketball, but it's pretty nice. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about everyone here today. So let's go ahead and be that boy Seabass. How are you doing today, man?
What's up, Danny? Doing pretty good, pretty good. Watched a lot of good football this past weekend. Some good injuries, a lot of stuff happening. But glad to be on the show, guys.
There we go. Of course, that boy super fat Art. How you doing?
What up, dog? Can't complain. Doing good here in the studio. Yeah, looking forward to some another great week of the sports. Everybody's on the Mahomes watch. What's going to happen? Is he coming back? He's got that protocol concussion.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. That's gonna be a really huge factor going moving forward. How about you, Crack AV? How you doing, man?
Hey, Danny. I'm doing all right. Just hanging out, watching games as they come, catching them on my phone, mobile device whenever I can, and yeah, having a great time out here.
Nice, perfect. So, we're gonna go ahead and continue on real quick with our NFL. We're gonna do some hot routes for today. So the hot routes are actually gonna be taken by Seabass. They're gonna be the single receiver
Hey,
for today. That boy Seabass. So we're
ooh,
actually gonna have four hot routes, four downs, four hot routes. Kind of works out on everything, right? So it's gonna be the playoff edition, right? So
all
we
right.
are going to start with the first hot routes. Again, if you guys do not remember hot routes, let's just kind of go over what it is. So hot routes essentially
what it is.
what it is
What's the
just a quarterback scenario. So like essentially you're the QB, right? I give you a hot route. You either take the hot route or you don't. Simple as that. You throw the ball away or you throw it to a receiver and you catch it. So it's pretty cool. Let's check it out, and we'll start with Seabass. So the first hot route for you is if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play, the
Mahomes?
the Chiefs will not make it to the Super Bowl. You take the hot route or not?
Yeah, yes, I take the hot route. Only reason why I hesitated is because I don't think that the Chiefs are that bad of a team, even with their backup quarterback. I think that mainly they're healthy. I think Chad Henney came in and yes, he threw a horrendous pick that ended up not really affecting the game, but he had a lot of good passes. Obviously, he was rusty, but that said, Josh Allen is on fire. The whole Bills team is on fire. That defense is gonna pretty much overwhelm Chad Henney, I think, and that's why I do think that if Patrick Mahomes misses the game, Chiefs are losing, Bills are in the Super Bowl. Buffalo's gonna go crazy, and I'm kind of real glad for Bills Mafia and everyone up there. But if Patrick Mahomes does play,
Oh,
totally different story. It'll be a great game to watch.
I'm gonna kind of pitch the ball to Superfan Art. What do you think? Would you take that hot route? So there's small
take
little
the
input.
route the
Yeah. So in this case,
right
so
that
since
the
you're
Chiefs.
so if Patrick Mahomes does not play, the Chiefs will not make it to the Super Bowl. Yes or no?
I'd I'd pick. Well, Hmm. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I would like to play the opposite end and see the Bills, you know, the Bills Mafia finally like make it to the Super Bowl after God knows how many decades.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to see the Bills pull up like the Cinderella story. Get Josh Allen, you know, and the great Stephon Diggs, underrated. I don't know why Vikings got rid of him. They could pull off the upset even with Mahomes.
Because of
So
Jefferson, they got rid of him because they believed in that kid, probably.
yeah, so I like underdog stories. I guess I'm kind of biased in that sense, so I won't pick up the hot route. I'll go for the Bills.
There we go. So,
I think
and
that is taking the hot route,
I
though.
think it
I was like, I think you guys taking a hot route, but either
Whatever, whatever it means that the Bills win.
if Mahomes don't play, yeah.
so in this case, the second hot route is gonna be back to UC Bass, and it's Rogers. Aaron Rodgers needs at least 3 touchdowns to win the game. You take the hot route or not?
Aaron Rodgers needs at least 3 touchdowns to win the game.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'll take the high route too. I know Tampa, especially last week, didn't put up that many points, but I do think that the offense overall in the last month or so was clicking. They obviously had a hard time last week against a good team, and I think they're gonna go ahead and go against Green Bay with the same mentality. They're gonna have to use all their weapons, running and throwing. If they literally depend on Tom Brady at 43 against Aaron Rodgers in almost still his prime. Not year wise, but the way he's playing this year. Definitely, they're gonna win. If they're gonna go head to head passing, go for the high points. I think Green Bay takes it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I do think that they need at least 3 touchdowns to win the game because Tampa's gonna put up a damn good fight, and I think it will be a score in the 30s for both teams. So yeah, I'll take the high route.
in the
Ooh,
30s.
video game score.
Dang. All right. So I'm actually.
Video game
It's a
score.
real NFL score. There's a lot of points this year, like record breaking wise.
There is,
It's crazy.
and
Or
even
lack of defense.
and even
Or like a
even
defense, exactly.
and yeah, and honestly, and even the defense have been scoring as well. So I mean, it's been pretty
That's true.
crazy. So I'm gonna
There are
just
some defenses there.
so I'm gonna just throw the question at excuse me. I'm gonna just throw the question right at producer Crack AV. So you think Aaron Rodgers needs at least 3 TDs to win the game or no?
Definitely the next coming games. Yeah, yes, I would take that hot route. Going forward, into next season, you never know. But
I think he's talking about
if you're talking about
this game this coming weekend.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
game,
yeah.
this game this coming weekend for
Specifically,
sure, I take that hot route because I mean it's Aaron Rodgers. I know his defense does amazing things, but Aaron Rodgers really cleans up after them when they slip up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what you can depend on in Green Bay. So that's what I think.
Nice. So that's the third hot route. Sebastian Seabass.
Right.
The Bills defense will be the X factor in that game. Take the hot route or not.
I mean, you're asking me today, Tuesday. I'm not gonna take the hot route. No, absolutely not. The X factor is absolutely if Mahomes plays or not. Once you have Mahomes decided, let's say he is playing, at that point, would I say that the defense of the Bills is the X factor? Yeah, absolutely. Because the thing is about the Chiefs, their defense is not the greatest, but they'll definitely get pressure. They'll definitely hold teams when they have to. The thing is that they always rely on that offense to get them points, no matter what, and score all over the place. If the Bills defense can limit that, Josh Allen and his offense are gonna pretty much go to town and win that game easily. But if the Bills defense doesn't show up, it'll be a shootout that we all know how good Patrick Mahomes does. But like I said, since it's today and we don't know if he's even playing, no, I will not take the hot route.
Dang. Dang. All right. So I'm gonna throw it actually back to you, Craig AV. What do you think?
Is the Bills
Defense.
defense the X factor?
Yeah.
Um, I will not take that hot route. I think this is Josh Allen's train, and everybody's driving. Everybody's
Dang.
riding it, and he's the driver.
I like that.
Dang.
I think
That's what's
that's what's
up.
happening. And it's really weird when you see him like run and trip and tackle himself.
He does it a lot, though.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really weird. I will admit that. But man, he's driving that bus, that train, everything. So yeah, I will not take that hot route.
Dang. I'm gonna throw it to you, Superfan Art. I need you in on this.
Same question
Yeah.
Yeah.
about the Bills defense.
Yeah, the Bills
Are they the X
defense are
factor?
the X factor in this game.
Well, assuming Mahomes does play, and you do know how versatile he could be. I mean, well, that's another thing. He had that messed up toe that was kind of limiting his movements. Like he was barely running, and then when he was running, he was, wincing a lot. So if the defense can, you know, get at least one or two guys, I don't know, a 3-man blitz, 4-man blitz, as long as they could get him quickly enough, because the longer he has the ball, he'll improvise like he's like a stand-up comedian or whatever.
Like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he'll Eddie Murphy raw that defense like it's nobody's business. So yeah, I'd say they're the X factor, of course. He's not 100% because of the toe. Definitely dial up that pressure, get him flustered, and it'll be a low scoring game if they can manage that. So I don't know. Is that considered taking the hot route?
Yeah, I guess.
What is a hot route?
who
I think that
who
is
is the
taken.
hot
Are
route?
we are we even here?
All right, guys. So the last hot route for tonight is for you, Seabass. Again, Aaron Rodgers will have the better stats, but Tom Brady will win the game. Will you take the hot route or not?
Yeah, I will. I will. I'm gonna take the hot route.
They.
I have no idea why. I have no
Wow.
idea why.
All right.
I am gonna state a
I
couple
didn't
of
think
things
you
because I know I'm
would.
gonna get hate.
I didn't think you would.
I
I
think
made
Aaron Rodgers
I made
will
I
be
made this
the
one
best quarterback in this year.
I made this one specifically for you because I knew you would think about it. I knew you would.
I gotta say, I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. Had a hell of a year. He's the MVP. All that. I think the defense is great in the Packers. But if I have to just pick, I know that he's old. I know it's not the same as always, but I believe in Tom Brady, especially the way he's been playing and the fact that in the first year with a different team ever in his pro career, uh, got the team to the playoffs and won a couple playoff games, and now is one game away from the Super Bowl. You just can't count him out. So I do think Aaron Rodgers will get the better stats. I think he'll probably throw 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. But I do think that Brady and Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette and Gronkowski and Godwin and Mike Evans, that offense somehow with Bruce Arians, they're gonna find a way to win that game. Hopefully, the Tampa Bay defense shows up. That is definitely something that's going to be interesting to see. But they have shown up in a lot of games this year. They can definitely do it, especially with the pressure on. So I believe the Bucks will win. I just do think Rogers will have the better stats. So I'll take the hot route.
There we go. Wow. Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and actually give this one to Superfan Art.
Okay, you're saying
So
that
what I'm
Aaron Rodgers
saying,
will
we'll get the better
get the better
stats.
stats. Brady gets the W.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather conditions in Lambeau, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be real cold, right? And we all know like the physics of like the football itself, the whole dynamic of throwing and catching and grabbing, it changes. I don't know if it's gonna even snow. And usually when weather's pretty bad,
I mean,
the stats kind of take a hit too, right?
I mean,
Is that
yeah.
feasible to say?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
normally, yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they
Aaron
usually.
Rodgers might be a statistical anomaly, but yeah.
Yeah, true
But
that.
then I won't take the hot route. I'm just saying because yeah, Brady, as great as he is in Tampa, is
Ooh,
pulling off
okay.
that Cinderella story on their end. You know, you're playing up there in the cold, like Wisconsin cold. That's a whole new level cold. And but Green Bay, they're used to it, man. You saw what they did to the Titans, and it was like I don't know how many feet of snow. So I think the home field advantage goes on their side, and I think they get the W and the stats. Or
Dang.
Rogers gets the stats.
Dang. Okay. 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 All right. How about you, Craig AV? What's your little 2 cents?
Uh, just off my top of my head, I mean, I'm not going to take the hot route because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have the stats to prove it, and they're going to go in overtime, and Aaron Rodgers is going to win by needle, win by
Ooh.
like just by a field goal. Like he's just going to win in overtime.
Dang.
It's going to be
I
one of
would
those.
love to see that game
No
And he'll
lie.
in the
he'll
third
kick
minute.
it too.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers, no,
oh, I got this, coach. I got this.
They're gonna end up tied. Like, oh,
if
Yeah,
I could get a little betting going on there, I'll definitely say yeah for sure. Um,
Wow. You heard it
Overtime.
here first. Hey, you guys heard it here first. Crack AV, super, super. Was it
Mario betting.
profit? Sports profit. All right, guys. So, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our great iron news. So obviously, we have our um our okay. I'm sorry. Before that, just to finalize, who goes to the Super Bowl? We'll go around. I'll start with you, Seabass. Super Bowl picks.
man. I'm gonna say that the Super Bowl is gonna be Bills and Bucks. I do think
Wow.
Tom Brady is going to go back to the Super Bowl. I do think even if Patrick Mahomes plays, I do think the Bills will have a chance to win, especially if that defense shows up, like I mentioned. And if he
Wow.
doesn't play, then they're definitely going to win. So I see Bills and Bucks. Uh, and winner, I would probably have to say the Bills. I think
Oh,
they're,
finally,
yeah, I think they're
Cinderella
completely as
year.
hot and healthy. Yeah.
All right. How about you, Crack AV?
I think Green Bay Packers and Bucks can meet in the Super Bowl. Is that correct?
No,
They're
they're
playing
meeting.
this
They're
week.
playing
No.
this
Playing
week.
this week. That's not going to happen. My bad.
So
Oh
it's
well.
it's Bucks Packers, and then the other side is Chiefs
Chiefs and Bears.
Bills.
Chiefs Bills. That's what it is. Yeah, yeah, man. I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to put
know.
anything against Josh Allen, so I think it will be Bills and Packers.
Oh, dang! No one believes in the Chiefs. Wow, that's what's up though.
I
You got
can't. I don't
Yeah.
know. Kelsey's great. Kelsey catches a lot of touchdowns and he does great things in Kansas City.
He does
But
everything.
you got some guy named Henny, and I think it's gonna fold under some pressure sometimes, a little more than Patrick Mahomes.
All right, and do you have a Super Bowl? Oh, we'll do Super Bowl picks next year. Sheba's got ahead of us, but whatever. We'll do it.
Yeah, cool.
All
Hey,
right.
those were my picks right now.
Uh,
After this weekend, we'll see.
all right. All right.
Remember,
All right, super fan. All right, your turn. Go for it.
So who wins this weekend?
Yeah,
That's
who
the
wins?
question.
Yeah, who goes to the Super Bowl?
Packers and Bills.
Oh wow! There you
No one's
go.
picking the Chiefs.
Dun, dun,
I
dun, dun,
think the Bills are
dun.
hungrier, man. The Bills are way hungrier.
Wow.
And the Bills haven't struggled, and the
They
Chiefs kind of
haven't.
have,
They
even
kind of
with
have.
Mahomes.
They kind of have. Even with Mahomes, like towards the end, in the middle of the season, they were like kind of, stumbling, tumbling a little
A
bit.
little dicey, man.
Pretty much, the defensive line for the Chiefs doesn't play very, very, very good, or at least really solid. They're gonna lose. Um, but yeah,
All
we'll
right.
see.
Well, my picks
You're
is
gonna pressure
actually
Josh Allen.
my picks actually is Bucks Chiefs, but I
Jeez.
think Bucks. I think the Tom Brady wins his seventh, right? Seventh ring and
Yeah,
done. He's like, I'm out. Deuces. I don't know, dude. I think he
yeah.
can go for like 2 more years, honestly. But if
I was
I
gonna
was,
say he just got to Tampa. You think he's gonna retire 1 year?
I mean, I would. Do you 7 rings,
You can. What if
dude?
he can have two dynasties under his name?
My God,
Uh,
9,
Nah, he
8.
won't have two dynasties, but
No, I mean,
I mean he's already the goat just by how much. That's what he's working on right now.
I don't know. That's just me. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's up. I think Rogers will uh not make it all the way. Ooh, phenomenal Juan. Where you at?
Well,
All right,
so
guys.
2-2 on the Bucks and the Packers right now.
All right, guys. So the next one we're gonna do Gridiron News. So the first one is essentially what's going on right now. The Sean Watson. So as you guys kind of have kind of heard, he's been having trouble with management, kind of going back and forth. Some people, or I think they hired a GM right without even like kind of uh talking to him about it. And they're saying, like, oh, you're just one of like, 53 man roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, 53 man roster, whatever. And yeah, you're the star quarterback, you're the big piece, but you're technically just part of the team, and that's how. But it's just kind of like one of those things, with Houston. How like J.J. Watt, they never really built around him either. They got rid of that
DeAndre
Hopkins,
Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins. Uh, it's like kind of like what's going on? Like what are you doing? Um,
They got
obvi-
rid of the Oilers. Like, I don't like these changes.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, obviously, the Houston or the Texans have all the power. They do not need a trade. They don't at all. If he doesn't play, obviously they can file agreements and things like that. But the whole point is, to kind of built around him. I mean, Watson is a franchise uh, quarterback. That I would think. My question is, I guess for you, Seabass, what happens now?
So from what I've read or heard, there's obviously different stories out there, but mainly, I think what he was mostly unhappy with, or that he felt betrayed, is that he had some conversations with the front office, and they made him believe that he will have a say in who they're going to be hiring, head coach, GM. Um, After that, they went ahead and hired somebody on the spot. He had no idea. He felt that they lied to his face. And that kind of came on after the fact that he's seen that franchise kind of deteriorate. He got there in 2017. They had bad defense, but they had good players around. Will Fuller was young. You had DeAndre Hopkins. You had a couple running backs, Lamar Miller. You had some tight ends. The defense just needed a couple parts and to get healthy. And it went from that and being competitive to no one wanted to play there. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins for almost nothing in a trade that nobody can explain. They lost a lot of players. Running backs left. J.J. Watt now wants to leave as well, which he's been the face of the franchise for, I don't know, a decade. Um, it's just pretty much a lot of negativity. And then they do that to him. He feels like he's getting no respect. And at the same time, he feels like he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. You could probably consider him a top five of the young quarterbacks in the league. You have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, um, somewhere in there at 4 or 5, you have Deshaun Watson, and there's a couple others. You have the rookies now, Joe Burrow, Herbert, but regardless, he thinks he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league, one of the young ones, and he doesn't want to waste his prime years in a franchise that is going down and making bad decisions and hiring people without considering him. And at the same time, he's getting greats like Andre Johnson coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Hey, this franchise has a bad history of not treating their players right and ending careers. Look at me, look at David Carr, look at Aaron Foster, endless players." So yeah, he sees that and he sees an option to kind of state his case, demand a trade right before a very, very quarterback needy draft. So he kind of gives the Texans an out, saying, "Hey, you can trade me, get some first round picks, and look at all these quarterbacks in this draft." He's giving them that option, and at the same time, trying to get out of town, which so I do think that he will be leaving. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week. It doesn't really have to be that fast, as long as it's before, not before the draft, but before the new year starts. I think sometime in March. So I do think Deshaun Watson does not play for the Texans next year. That is not me being or me giving a biased opinion because I'm a Jaguars fan. I do think that's what's going to happen. And where he goes, I don't know, but I remember Deshaun Watson his first year. He had like 5, 6, 7 games where he looked like Lamar Jackson last year, and he got hurt. And last year he had up and down games, but he really stepped it up. And then this year he played well all year. He's really a franchise quarterback, I believe, and he
Yeah.
wants out of town. It's not
Yeah.
something you see often. It's not something that happens often. So definitely Houston will try all they can to keep him. But I do think it's kind of more of a player's market nowadays in the NFL, especially going into his fourth year. Because if he kind of wants to sit out, he's going to come back and they can get his 50-year option and pay him all that money for nothing, or let him go in free agency where they won't get anything and they won't be able to trade him. So they should be smart and just take advantage, get as much of it as they can right now. Use that capital for this draft specifically because they traded their picks and they don't have some picks. But yeah, I think that is gonna end up in Deshaun Watson leaving the Houston Texans. We'll see.
So, Superfan Art, if Deshaun Watson does leave the Texans, where does he leave? Where does he go to?
Oh,
That's a good question, Dan. Who actually is in need of a QB at the moment? I mean, obviously,
The
good amount of
Jets.
a good amount of teams actually.
the Jets is possible. Don't get me wrong. There was the rumors of the Dolphins switching for Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
you have the Jaguars needing a quarterback. You have the Patriots needing a quarterback. You
Patriots.
have yeah. I don't think they're gonna keep Cam Newton.
The
Um,
the Patriots would be interesting. I mean,
yeah,
it's a world class
Deshaun.
organization, and Watson he knows like, oh, I could spend some of my prime years under Bill Belichick. Like, what's not to like in that?
there you go.
Uh, so yeah, that's I prefer him to look into the Patriots, but it's I guess whoever can offer him the best deal, I suppose.
And
But yeah,
one more thing I just remembered, guys, before I forget, he has a no trade clause in his
Plus,
contract.
hmm
He has to agree on the trade too, so that's another factor to this mess. But yeah, sorry to cut you off, Arturo. You just reminded me of that right
no, that's cool, man. I didn't even know that.
now.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting story that'll probably develop even further after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely something should be done before the season resumes back in come this March, I believe.
yeah. So, just kind of moving forward and with the Gridiron News, would be Urban Meyer. So we do have obviously our house fan, Jaguars fan,
I was gonna say we're all
Mister
fans.
Mister Sebas, of course. Yes, he's like the only Jaguars fan in miles, literally miles.
I've looked.
But Urban Meyer's back in the NFL, so obviously, he did go to, we've seen him go through Florida, He did go through Ohio State. He won a couple of college national championships on with them. Tim Tebow, whatever, right? And now he's going back to the NFL. Obviously, it's a little bit different, right? He does have a lot of health things going on with him personally, but I think it'd be a little bit less stress just being NFL compared to college, at least especially now, since recruitment is like especially the main traveling portion of it, and you just have to do a whole bunch of it if you're just a head coach like that. I think it'd be a good fit. It'd be pretty exciting about it. I originally thought that he was gonna go with like a job like the Cowboys or something, but that's another story. But he does get obviously the number one pick. He does get Trevor Lawrence essentially. He does have how many CBS? How many picks? First round picks?
11.
11 first round picks.
Oh wait, no, 11 picks this year. Two first round picks, two second round picks, two fourth round picks, two sixth round picks.
There we go.
Breaking every round.
11 picks. 11 picks. So a couple picks first round. 11 picks is a lot of picks.
And one of them is Trevor
Uh,
Lawrence.
yeah. So you can even easily build around them. So it in Urban Meyer, he's a smart guy. So we're gonna see how he kind of turns up in the NFL. So go ahead and start with UC Bass. I know you're kind of dying to talk about it. Go for it.
I want to say dying to talk about it because I know very well, being a Jaguars fan for so long, that you shouldn't get too excited when there's good change with positive vibes in the offseason. Happens all the time. But we do have something that's, in a way, unprecedented for the Jaguars, at least, where you have the top pick in the whole draft, where you have a lot of quarterbacks coming out, and one that's considered one of the greats in recent memory. We have the most draft, or I guess, cap room in the whole league since we offloaded so many players in the last couple of years. And there's a lot of players out there that we can use to pretty much beef up our defense, to beef up our secondary, along with the 11 picks that we have. We have a team that, or a owner that pretty much is going to let him do what he wants. He already came out in their interview, the first interview, saying that we're going to do whatever Urban Meyer needs for his program, for his success. So he's going to get to pick whoever he wants as coach. He's gonna have whoever he wants the quarterback. Ross Smith, Trevor Lawrence, but it could be Justin Fields. I really want it to be Trevor Lawrence, but he has a history of being a player's coach. He has a long history of success. Yes, everything in college. He's never been in the NFL. Me as a Jaguars fan, I wasn't looking for an experiment. When I saw everything we had, I was thinking, let's go for someone that's, I don't know, more history in the NFL, but I do think that he will carry that success over. It's not just because he had the top draft picks and the top recruits every year. He did it at Bowling Green. He had success. He did it at Utah. He had success. And then he went to Florida, Ohio State. This guy knows what he's doing. He's a great coach. He's won 160 some games and lost only 30 some. Um, I'm very excited for this hire. He's going to get the right crew and have a lot of turnover this year. So I think it was the right move. We will see. Pretty much the future is the only one that can tell us. So maybe in 2 years from now, we'll be regretting this, or we'll be Super Bowl champs. We'll see. Had to throw that in there.
There you go. Just gotta kind of throw it on, throw it in there. How about you, Mister Superfan Art? What do you think?
About the hire of Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer. So obviously, a little bit more of a college ball. That's more of your thing, and UT's been had a couple good battles with him, both at Florida and again at Ohio State. So, what do you think about him making a jump to the NFL, specifically to the Jaguars?
I like it. It's a pretty solid hire. I mean, a guy who's proven himself in the college division, you know, championship pedigree.
I'm sure a lot of guys under his tutelage have gone on to be successful in the NFL. I mean, except for one, but uh, I won't name the names. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, definitely stress. He'll have more power over, I guess, his not so much his staff, but less pressure on him. Because I know that was a big deal of why he stepped away from the game was because it was causing a little bit of issues with his uh, mental health, so to speak, or
Mhm.
stress. It's a very stressful environment in college. But I mean, now it could be a little bit more laid back. He has more authority. He's definitely got the knowledge. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the next Bill Belichick, but he's more seasoned than like say what's his face from Arizona, who barely had
Oh,
like
Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, who had like how many years at
I
Texas Tech?
felt.
And he got fired. He was fired from technically. He was fired from you know
Yeah. So if Cliff
from Texas Tech.
Kingsbury could like be in the NFL, like I'm sure Urban Meyer is more than qualified. And the folks in Jacksonville, they got something to be optimistic about. And all those 11 draft picks, of course. It don't hurt you either.
How
Good to have. Good to have.
about you, Mr. Crack AV? You got any 2 cents for me?
Uh, Urban Meyer, I haven't followed too much college ball, but I know he was a menace to UT. Hopefully, he's a menace to the rest of the NFL.
Hopefully.
There you go. And I know Seabass is gonna definitely want that be a menace to the NFL again. Get over there, get to the was it championship game? You went to championship game, right?
Yeah,
A couple years
2017.
ago. Yeah, a couple years ago. So
I'm
obviously,
very used to that.
yeah, it's Brady.
That's what it is.
Uh, so just the last thing we'll talk about in this case is the MVP award. Now, obviously, it hasn't been announced yet, but we all kind of know what it is. It does go off of the season MVP, and it looks like more than likely it is looking out to be Aaron Rodgers. So just a quick you know thoughts think what your thoughts what you think of Aaron's year this year, the Packers kind of moving forward, going into deep into the playoffs, and what you think. Go for Seabass.
So what do I think? I think it is deservedly so. I would say that Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. He's had a hell of a year. I think mainly there you can always say any of the top teams, their quarterbacks could be MVPs. You can say some of their running backs, Derrick Henry could have been MVP. You can say the defensive players deserve to be an MVP, but mainly I always take the very best player that without that player you couldn't have X success, and then I see what X is higher. So I see Green Bay Packers #1 in the NFC. I see them about to go to the Super Bowl if they beat the Bucks. I see him having a pretty much a career year almost at 37, 38, however old Aaron Rodgers is. Pretty much no one could really keep up with him except obviously in yards. But as far as averaging, he was the most complete player. As far as consistency, I don't think he had a bad stretch to where he had two, three, four bad games. He definitely deserves it. He brought the Packers up to where they are, pretty much. Think about it. If you take away Aaron Rodgers, their star running back is Aaron Jones. I don't think he can carry a team. The star receiver is Devontae Adams. He needs somebody to throw it to him. They don't really have much as far as depending a whole team on. Aaron Rodgers has them exactly where they're at. A game away from the Super Bowl, #1 seed. Um, yeah, he deserves to be MVP.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. They're already writing him off. When they drafted Jordan Love and all this stuff, and it was just one of those
Uh-huh.
things. You know, I don't know. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is like one of those pure natural passer talents that was just like, I mean, this guy can just throw the ball. You
Yeah,
know.
just this past week, some of those throw like and he does it effortlessly. He is not killing himself out there, exposing his body, because he's old. Now he is there running around throwing 40, 50 yard bombs on a dime.
Like
He's
nothing.
he's doing everything he has to do, and he's doing it easily. And you can see when he talks after the interviews and everything, he is very confident. He knows his team should be there. He knows they're good. He knows who he has and Devontae Adams and the weapons he has around him.
Yeah.
It's very, very good year for them.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, super fan art? What do you think?
What's the question?
Aaron Rodgers being MVP. What are your thoughts?
Mm,
Now consistent, you know, wins, stats. He really hasn't like missed a beat. Um, you know, um, on the other spectrum, you see Mahomes have some shaky performances and even some losses by Evans Raiders. Uh, so it was closer a few weeks back, and then the Seahawks and Russell Wilson weren't really up to cut. Um, and Mahomes was kind of floundering towards the end of the season. So he pretty much was the clear cut like win. I'm not gonna say he won already, but he was the clear choice like already in the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Uh, so I mean, I agree. Like he'll win and he's earned it. Now, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll trade the MVP award for another Super Bowl ring. So
Quick.
yeah, so it didn't mean nothing. That's the one thing that means everything is that Super Bowl win. But yeah, he'll probably win the MVP.
There you go. What about you? Your 2 cents, crack AB.
I just think it'll be really tough between Brady and Aaron Rodgers. So uh, I think Aaron Rodgers will probably get it. He's just so laser targeting this year. He's even more laser targeting than Peyton Manning ever was.
Yeah, seriously.
That's saying something.
That's it. That is saying something. I mean, this guy's just
How many
like
Peyton Manning games?
this guy's just like throwing dimes left and right. Like, God, dang.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I can see that.
nice. So then we'll go ahead and just gonna move forward into our NBA segments around the rim. So as you guys kind of know, obviously there is a huge trade for Harden. James Harden to the Nets. There was a lot of movement shaking around with a couple of teams. Including I think the Pelicans, right? Was it the Pelicans? I don't know. It was like 3 teams that were involved. Um, Obviously including the Nets and the Rockets, right? The Rockets end up getting a whole bunch of picks for next. I
Is
don't,
Cleveland and the Pacers were kind of in there too.
yeah, the Pacers. There we go. The Pacers. They got Oladipo. Yeah. So but something like that, right? So either way, Harden essentially is now with the Nets. Obviously, so is KD and Kyrie. What is there, or kind of. Um, so right now, obviously the whole Kyrie situation that's up in the air. Right now, Harden and KD themselves is like guarantee 60 points a game, probably 75. Seriously. Yeah. So the question is, what does success look like for the Nets this year, Seabass?
Mm.
What does success look like for the Nets, especially after this?
Yeah.
It means a deep run in the playoffs. I obviously what it means is that they're trying to win. It means that they want to win, whether it's now or in the long run. But for them to say that everything that they was successful, they're gonna have to be either in the conference championship or the championship. And to be honest, they will have to win it. But will it happen? I don't think so. I think they have a lot of things going on negatively. I know you mentioned right now talking about Kyrie Irving. That's something that probably not a lot of people are happy with him. but still, it's a lot of negativity going. I don't believe that we will see them win a championship. I don't believe that this will work out. But I think that if they keep some key players, especially if Harden kind of calms some of his personality down and plays ball, I think maybe they could have something in the years going forward. I just don't know what's going to happen this year.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's just there's a lot of factors that are involved, and just a lot of movements. Just like basketball, right? Usually the personalities are just a little bit bigger, just because the players mean that much more to the game. But what do you think, Superfan? Art.
I'm going to ask you to repeat the question, right?
Yeah. So in this case, with KD, Harden, and the Nets, what does success look like for them this year?
Well, there's a lot of pressure now on them to, you essentially have your big three now, assuming that Kyrie like steps up and actually plays. Um, so obviously, in their mind, or in everybody's mind, it's championship or bust. But
Right.
it's competing with the likes of the powerhouses of the East, the Heat, the Bucks, the 76ers, Boston. Like you got to stand above the pack now because the target's on your back. You got the stars. Now you got to like step up. Uh, you know, what's the term? I guess walk. You got to walk the walk now. You got to step up.
Yeah.
So, in terms of success, obviously, they want to get a pretty good seed come playoff time and definitely compete with the other powerhouse names in the East. Um, so, yeah, I mean, hopefully um, they can. They help me out, fellas. They want to get. they want to
Just so for that, so it's like what the
get to the
finals,
playoffs.
like so it's like the finals. Is it like the
No, he
conference?
already said championship. That's what we're all
So
expecting.
just
That's the
championship.
answer, to be honest.
Championship.
Just
Yeah.
a ringer bust. Just ringer bust. What do you think, Crack AV? Just throw your 2 cents.
Well, just off hearing of you guys, because I don't really, the Brooklyn Nets are not really my team, you know.
I knew
Yeah.
he was going to say that.
But it looks interesting from the outside seeing them build that team and Kyrie Irving just not even like
Yeah.
showing up. I
Yeah.
think what success looks like for them, success really looks like a really harmonious relationship and really fun time in Brooklyn. Like you'd have to get Kyrie Irving, like, and the big three that Arturo mentioned. Hey man, we're all donating, we're all being humanitarian, good stuff, and then we just go play really awesome basketball at night. Like when that's harmonious stuff happens, when you just like love being in Brooklyn and you love the environment, the trading that you're talking about, the movements. Uh, when it's all harmonious,
Yeah.
I think they'll all take down some big names. You'll see them start winning some games that you never thought Brooklyn could win.
See,
There you
and that's actually I get what you're saying in a way, correct or be correct, AB, because the harmonious part. I don't think they'll find it this year, especially with the 2021, the year we're having, with whatever Kyrie's doing. What I
Yeah.
meant to say earlier is that he's probably going to be gone after this year, and they're going to
Yeah,
replace him
I
with
know.
someone big. But going forward, if they do find that harmony, if they do get the team going, Harden plays ball outside and inside the court. Um, I think they could have some. To be honest, I think
They can be dangerous,
that,
dude. I'm telling you,
yeah, they could.
like
They have a lot of years player left in those players as well.
literally. Okay, Kyrie, Harden, and KD. That's 3 players. That's literally 90 points guaranteed, bro. 90
Mm-hmm.
points. And that's like
Oh,
that's
that's it. That's if they don't have COVID or if they have a headache
yeah.
Or great
or
condition.
they woke up with a bad tummy ache or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but they can easily, like, what I'm saying? Like, they could easily, that's insane. Like, you literally almost need,
And,
like, a rim
and that's what they
protector, and
did.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they thought when they
And,
did it.
and that's what the Warriors
Yeah.
kind of did. I mean, if you think about it,
That's exactly what they did.
they just,
And they
this,
won championships.
yeah, they just overwhelmed people. Um, which kind of segues into the other around the rim. So right now, the Warriors, obviously, at the beginning of the season, they weren't doing so good. They're saying that obviously um what's his face is out.
Stephen Curry.
No, not Clay Thompson.
Oh, Clay
Thompson is
Thompson.
Clay Thompson is out for the year, so obviously it's on Curry now. They weren't doing so good, and Curry wasn't doing so good, and so they're kind of telling them, oh, is he able to carry a team and things like that. He kind of took it, to heart, hence the Jordan meme, and I took that personally. And essentially, he started going off. I believe they're number 4, I think, or something like that, in the NBA. So my question is, I'll start with you, Arturo. Is can Curry carry the Warriors deep into the playoffs?
Um, can he in playoffs? I don't know, man. That's a lot of responsibility on his burden. Especially. Yeah, did I say that right? Yeah, with Clay out, yeah, a lot of focus it went back to Curry to like really put up those superstar numbers, which you should. Don't get me wrong. And some of the other castmates around him have been stepping up. They've been making a pretty good run right now. But you know, the season progresses. We'll see. If he'll crumble under that pressure or not come playoff time. So at the moment, they're sitting fine, but there's a lot of competitive teams out there in the West, and I think Curry might actually need extra help if they're going to try to make it the whole season.
There you go. No, yeah, and I think that Curry can first of all carry the Warriors into the playoffs. The question is, should he? I'll pass the question along to you, T-Vaz. What do you think?
Man, you lost me with that question. What do you mean, should he?
I mean, okay, Thompson, right? I mean, okay, I'm the Warriors. I think the Warriors are exactly where the Spurs are at right now. So we're well, not
Without as many stars, but yes.
yeah. So we're like they're not, they don't have the star power truly to push. I mean, okay, besides Curry, maybe the rookie, right? Um, but besides that's really like come playoff time where they can like you can really rely on them. You don't have your Clay Thompson, you have your Draymond Green, and stuff like that, but not really your second
Jordan
guy.
Poole.
Yeah. So, and the Spurs obviously, that's a whole different monster to talk about. But in this case, like, them going deep into the playoffs, but maybe, even getting a better pick, not necessarily getting out of the, tanking or anything, but, what are they kind of really playing for this year if they know they won't, like, really get far? What do you think, Sebas?
Okay, I get you. So quite honestly, I do think Stephen Curry, at his prime or not at his prime, when healthy and when playing good, when in rhythm, he's still pretty much one of the best players in the league. With that shot, with that kind of vision, with that kind of ball handling, with that kind of everything he brings to the team, yes, he can carry a team. But does he have the pieces around him, kind of like he did, not just in his years with KD, but before he got there? They already won a championship with Klay Thompson. He's always had a good nucleus of players. Right now, he still has Draymond Green, he still has Klay Thompson, but he just lost Thompson for the year. They do have a couple young guys, but right now, I feel like he's not in sync. He's not having. Right now he's on fire, but he started off not there. Can he carry it throughout the season and the playoffs without having a bad spell, especially if it's all on him? Because I don't see Draymond Green or anyone really stepping up. It's too much pressure. It's too much on one guy. I think he's capable with a decent, healthy team around him. he has neither of those things. But I don't know. I was expecting more out of them. Clay Thompson being out for the year definitely hurts them. Never were they gonna be my top 3 or 4 to go to the championship and win, but I was expecting more. And now I think they might be middle of the pack. I think right now they're at 7, not 4, Danny. But still, I see them dropping out and going into the teens. To be honest,
Oh wow. Okay. Dang. Okay. I was gonna. I didn't think it was
yeah,
gonna be. You were gonna.
not trying to be harsh, but that's just what I'm foreseeing. I like that.
All right, so real quick, just kind of going into the last question, or last thing, which would be the Spurs. I know we are technically, based off of here in Texas. Obviously, we have a big presence. Spurs have a big presence in basketball. Right now, the Spurs are actually have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 players actually averaging double digits, um, including the was it a couple of the young ones, Lonnie, Keldon, and Murray, that are again averaging double digit points. They are playing as a team. Right now they are. Hold on, my bad.
Record wise, I think they're like 8-7 or 8-6.
Yeah, let me just check the standings real quick. So right
Yeah,
now,
standings on.
okay. Yeah. So right now, they are number 5. And the standings are 8-6. Which is actually not that bad. Um, Again, it's just a matter of like the Spurs just kind of same thing we were earlier. You just talking about the Warriors. They can make the playoffs. Should they? Should they try to go for like a better pick? Right now they are playing really good. I think they just need one really good rim defender. But again, it's just that's just saying a lot anyway. You can't just pick up one, just like that. The only good thing is next year they are gonna have a lot of cap space, so they can definitely sign a couple people. But in this case, the question is just with the Spurs. Um, where do you think What do you think is gonna what's the end product for how do the Spurs end this year, Seabass?
Ooh, all right. The Spurs are gonna end this year satisfied with the progress of their players and dissatisfied with the record. I don't see them making the playoffs. To be honest, I think they're
Oh
gonna have
wow.
one. And that's not me knocking the team. That's just me saying at one point they're gonna have an injury that's gonna plague them for at least a couple games. And they're right now they're playing almost 50% basketball. I mean, I think they're 8-6. They got a lucky win in there, but pretty much they're hot and cold right now. They need to do something to get on a run to get maybe 5, 6, 7 games straight. Kind of pull away from the rest of the league. I don't see that happening. I think they're barely making it as they are. If they have an injury from here to the season or a COVID injury or whatever you want to call that, a COVID non-participation, it's gonna hurt them a lot, and that's I think it's bound to happen in any point of the season. I also don't think that any of the current star power for the Spurs is playing like it. So I do think they'll see a lot of the young players give them something to look forward to. And once they get that cap space, yes, they can make some moves and kind of complement the whole team. But I don't see them. I see them being a bubble team to the playoffs that ends up not making it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I know that last night, I believe. Yeah, last night, DeRozan and DeJounte Murray were the first Spurs to have double digit assists in a game. So obviously, there's a lot of bright spots and everything. The Spurs,
Good
they're always a
basketball.
dark horse. They're always Popovich coach team is always going to be, very dangerous, but again, it is what it is. Competition is tough. It is the NBA. I mean, every team is as good. There's no such thing. There's no team, especially in the West, that's really just kind of a pushover. Even like the Kings, the Mavs, um, all those teams that used to just be whatever, and now they're not. Just simply they're not. What about you, Superfan Art? What do you think? The Spurs, where they're heading?
Yeah, I've seen some good things of late. They had a good revenge game against Houston over the weekend, and they, essentially handled the Portland Blazers pretty well yesterday. Um, so yeah, they've got talent. Don't get me wrong, and they're starting to be a more cohesive team. The veterans and the young guys are starting to mesh in a little bit better. But ultimately, yeah, the West is just well, the teams that used to be pushovers, they're not pushovers no more.
Exactly.
So West and East included.
Yeah,
So I mean, hopefully they can push for one of the last spots in the playoffs, or maybe they'll decide come the trade deadline or
Yeah.
during the All Star break. Do we want to shop around Aldridge or Patty Mills, for instance, to try to get some last, like you said, some rim protectors? I don't know, but at the current rate, they're just trying to shoot to get into the playoffs, and hopefully, there won't be injuries. Seabass, you better pray extra hard. There's no injuries.
I'm not gonna work for you.
Wood. But yeah, obviously COVID's another big factor, whether the games will be postponed or not. Uh, but barring any other setbacks, the Spurs are just trying to shoot for one of the last playoff spots. But yeah, I agree with what Seabass said. Let's see some runs. Get a 3-game winning streak. If
yeah,
that's a 5, like I would be more comfortable like moving forward, seeing some win streaks. Who doesn't?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what proves
That's
you're a good
good.
team, really.
Exactly, exactly. Start showing consistency as
So
well.
yeah, so optimistic, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So, what about your 2 cents, Crack AV?
The Spurs organization,
Yeah,
I love them so much.
yeah,
Um, uh, uh, I think it's just plain and simple. They just have a lot to show. A
yeah,
lot to show this year. They're not the Spurs organization. I remember when I bought this really fancy hat that I have right now. But they have a lot to show, and if they can show it up, they'll definitely be contenders for at least the conference championship. That'd be nice. But yeah, if they can show it
Hopefully
all,
soon.
yeah,
if they can really really play and ball out, then yes. I don't think there'll be championships this year, but there'll be champs. What do we call them? Chips? Or
Yeah.
yeah. There'll be some chips, some
they'll,
time.
they'll be fishing.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today. We're not gonna do rapid fire this week. We'll wait for next week so I can get some fresh new questions. Yeah, I know. So I can't find my old ones.
Oh,
Let's do it.
all
I'll
good.
ask them. I remember them.
I know, dude. My bad. I can't find them. I was like, oh, yeah. I just can't. Yeah, my bad. My bad.
It's
Well,
dog.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. We'll definitely, hopefully, get some more contestants.
yeah,
for
more. Well, I need to get more like actual
next time.
questions or whatever going. But we're gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna chop up this video and just put it on YouTube because I haven't been doing it for the other ones. Uh, I've been like it's not lazy, just it's been it's hard. It's a little time consuming or whatever. But all right, guys. Yes, we are. Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. So go ahead and finish this off. Pause. Yo. Let's go ahead and that's it for this week's episode. Hope y'all can chill with us next time. Everyone follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. I want to thank y'all to all of our sponsors today. Music provided by Studio 13th Day and graphics provided by TazMagoria.com. And this is Danny BMD signing off, saying later to everyone. I got Seabass, Superfan Art, Crack AV in here today. Go ahead and finish us off, Art. Later.
Thank you, Dan. Listen, today is sports can offer great second chances. Harden and Durant are and the urban legend continues in Jacksonville. Remember, sports are great to meet nothing without you all the fans. This is episode number 9. Until next time, folks, be cool, stay safe, and keep it on listening to Mezzo Forte Sportz.
Yes.
Later.